What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Community Farm Alliance podcast. I'm your host for the Blackberry series. My name is Vaughn Barnes, and I have with me today Perriee Williamson out of Fleming County, Kentucky. She and her partner are the farmers of Loving Farm. Perriee, tell me more about it.
We started Loving Farm about a year ago when we started selling flowers at the Fleming County Farmers Market. It came out of just wanting to spend more time together and trying to find ways that we could do that without having to work. So
That's always the goal. Work less, enjoy more. And it's funny how we met. We met each other on Instagram. And matter of fact, tell everybody your story.
all right, well what got us liking flowers a lot was a lady by the name of Erin Benzikin of Floret Flowers.
Right?
And like we started, following her account and then like looking at the people who follow her account and we couldn't find, I was looking for, other people besides, I was just trying to find more Black people that did either flowers or gardening. So we started listening to the Gardening and Beats podcast or just watching his lives whenever he went live and trying to see who was on there.
Right.
And
On Saturdays.
yeah. Around that time, he was doing the women's feature, so he was always like a female. So we started following them, and then through their accounts, like looking for other people, and just like by seeing who commented on his page or who he had on his show, we would find other Black people. And we found you. You're in Kentucky, which made it a total plus. It was like, oh yeah, Kentucky, sweet,
Yeah, that's what's up.
And then you do a CFA, which is amazing. Like so,
When I would check out his stuff on Saturdays, it's kind of like it's like the virtual meetup where it's like, hey, oh, you're a Black farmer too? Dang, I never, I didn't know there was somebody out here. And then finally you see somebody that's close to you and it's like, all right, how far away are you? I'm actually looking for other Black farmers in Kentucky. So like when you popped up for what I was doing with Black and Berries, it was like, oh, this is gonna work out perfect. How did you get from Chicago to Fleming County of all places?
yeah, see, I never thought that this would be what I would be doing as a passion, or that I would love digging my hands in dirt and soil and, being sunburned and, everything. So, but, let's see, I grew up in Chicago. Me, my mom, my brother, um, and my grandma had a garden actually. I do remember that. I knew she grew squash and greens and she would make squash a lot. I didn't like squash then. I love squash now. But then
Funny
we
how that
moved
works,
to,
right?
oh yeah. So my mom was originally from Cincinnati, and then when I was in about seventh grade, we moved to Cincinnati because she wanted to be closer to home. So we moved to Cincinnati when I was in about seventh, eighth grade, and just school, and I was in the army for 6 years, and then I went to college, went to UC, graduated around 2008. I met my future wife, or my current wife now. We're both working and trying to find ways to make enough to, not have to struggle. Like we went to on our honeymoon, we went to Mexico, and then we saw these people in Mexico who had this land in Mexico. They weren't even from there, but they just had property there, and they'd be like, "We're coming here on vacation," and I got real sunburnt, and we're like, "We can't come here on, to live." So we're like, "Well, we got to find somewhere in the States, to live." We knew some friends who also wanted a vacation spot or somewhere they could live like off grid. So we were like, cool, we can go in with them and try to, do that. And it would be like a nice, nice community, friends all going in, making sure the place is nice. And they didn't, they had their own thing. They sold jewelry on Etsy. So they didn't really work, well, they worked, but at their thing. So instead of putting more money into that community, we were like, we need something of our own because we started liking flowers from because we got ducks and we were like cool. So we started
Got you.
watching the Fresh Eggs Daily, and then we were like, well, we really like flowers, so we were like, we need to find something of our own. We started looking further in Kentucky, something that was like an hour away, or so then we found the place in Ewing, and we're like, oh man, we're gonna put so many flowers there because we're not mowing all of that because there's no way that would happen.
Wait. So you guys had a place in Kentucky that you were living at and had ducks there.
Yeah.
Then you moved from that place to your own land.
Yes,
And
yes.
because there was so much grass, you said, the hell with the grass. We're cutting this down and we're planting flowers.
Yeah, we're just like we're gonna just put flowers everywhere, you know. So we found the found the space. Like we're gonna fill it up with flowers. We're gonna sell flowers because Erin Benziquine, she did. I guess she started making a living just selling flowers that she grew in her backyard. So we were like, well, we got the space, you know.
Yeah, right.
So let's do it. But so then when we moved here, a neighbor from across the street who Mr. Raymond Williams, he offered to come and cut the hay. And this was like with us being here for like a week. And we're like, yeah, that'd be great. You know, we don't have to cut it. That'd be awesome because it's like 2.5 acres of just grass down there at the bottom of the hill where we don't have the, we have a small riding mower. We don't have like a zero turn or anything, but he has a huge tractor. He comes by and cuts the hay and bales it up for his cattle and for like bedding. So that was nice. Um,
So
Another
you guys
couple
did a
things.
trade with him you guys did a little trade with him to cut the backyard, or you just said, here, man, cut the 2 acres, you guys can have the hay.
Yeah, that's pretty much. We didn't know how that would go. He just came and asked, like, "Hey, you mind if I cut that field for you?" He said the last person that lived here, they would always keep it cut and they never let it grow. You know, and we're like, we don't have anything to cut it with, so it's just gonna grow. So he's like, "Well, I'll cut it, you know, for the hay." And we're like, "All right, thank you." You know, we just thought it was like a nice gesture, I guess.
Within the space that you have, how many acres is the whole property?
About 5.5.
So on the 5.5, you do what was a quarter?
Yeah, about a quarter acre with flowers last year.
All right. This year, what are you guys planning on doing in the market?
This year we're actually trying to do more. So we're growing. We got herbs. We got basil and dill. Basil, dill. There's some more oregano, thyme. So we're trying to do dry herbs or just fresh herbs. I'm growing peppers right now. Didn't have those last year, so I'm trying to do that. We're going to give them some tomatoes this year. We have so many last year, just from us, it wasn't enough, to sell to someone else. So we were like, well, let's add a little more this year so we can actually sell some produce at the market. So hopefully we'll have some peppers and tomatoes and some eggplant and greens. We have lettuce growing. We didn't have that last year to sell.
So all of this started just off the whim of wanting to live off grid and just, I'm just gonna take myself, we're gonna move off grid and we're just gonna find something that we're gonna do on this land. That's how it all started.
Well, we did want off grid, but but the place that we had on the campground, I know that they had water and electricity, and it was actually cheaper to get it with water and electricity already on the property than to get have it running. Because we didn't, after we built that cabin, we didn't really want to build something else. So when we found this place and it had a house and a barn in a trailer, it was like this is it. This is the spot. It has everything we need. There's already buildings on it. We don't have to build anything. Only thing we had to build was the run for the ducks. We had to build that. And garden beds and stuff, but nothing too big. No other houses to build.
Did you know that CFA is a nonprofit organization that supports family farms, equity work, food access, and policy work across Kentucky? If you're interested in supporting any of this work, please go to cfaky.org and go to our Donate tab in order to donate or become a member today. We really appreciate any and all help that we get, and it goes back to helping both farmers and consumers across the Bluegrass State. For more information, go to www.cfaky.org. Once again, that's www.cfaky.org. Thank you. And now back to our show.
So you're from Chicago. How did you end up even doing any type of gardening? Did you do some of that when you were like younger? Like how did that work out?
Yeah, I was never in the garden. I mean, I would know, I knew where the garden was, but as far as me going into it, definitely not. But I knew what she grew, by what she would bring inside the house from the garden.
Who's she?
My grandma, my mom's mom. Yeah.
Okay.
My dad's mom also had a garden, but I never saw it. My brother said she had one, but I've never seen it. Never didn't even know she had one. They're like went to her house, and they're like, oh, that's where she had the garden. And I was like, what garden? I didn't know she had one. But they did. They're younger, so maybe there was after me, after we moved to Cincinnati or something.
Now, when you decided after Mexico to come back to Kentucky to get into a homestead lifestyle, what made you think, all right, we're just going to do flowers?
Man. Well, we wanted to expand the patch that we had in front of our home in Newport, which wasn't that big of a garden. It was like a little, I don't know, maybe 10 by 4 or something, and then a little patch on the side, like 3 by 4. So we just wanted to expand on that and have more flowers.
And when you started in Fleming County Farmers Market, how often were you there? Was it every weekend? Did you guys bring bouquets every weekend? Tell me a little bit about the process of getting a bouquet ready.
So we would cut the flowers at night, sometimes during the day before market, but that if things got, if the week got away from us. But usually on Friday nights around 6 in the evening, we would go out and we would cut the flowers and put them in water, and we would take them inside, and then we put on some radio DJ, listen to that while we got the bouquets ready. We'd get some, at first we started out with a roll of the brown paper, but then you had to cut it off. But it was cheaper than getting the, that we thought it was cheaper than getting the sheets that are already cut. And it's not. It's like the same price, because we added up how many sheets you get versus how much, feet you get in the roll. And it was cheap, about the same price to get it already cut. So we found that out later after we finished the roll. So we just started getting the paper, and then we got some twine, like a roll of twine, to tie them up nicely. And then we put them back in the water in the little buckets. And then we take the buckets down to the market. We started out with not a lot, maybe like 5 bouquets, just to see if we would sell them, and the first couple weeks, not really, but then by the by the July, because it started on Juneteenth last year. So around mid-July, when more people started coming to the market, and I think we sold out a couple times, maybe twice, but we bought 10 bouquets. The most we ever took was about 20, but we didn't sell out that day. But whatever's left over, we just give to people.
So talk a little bit about those ducks. That was another thing that intrigued me about the Instagram. Right at the time when I seen you all and your ducks, I'm like, man, I'm starting out with ducks, and my ducks hadn't started laying their eggs yet. So I was like, all right, I got to check them out to see what they're doing with ducks. Tell me more about the ducks.
All right. So we wanted ducks originally because they eat ticks. And this was out at the campground. It was pretty much all woods, lots of woods. We cut down trees in order to build the cabin and put the teepee up that we had. And so when they went on vacation, we acquired the ducks, and, they started laying eggs, which was very exciting. We're like, oh, we got fresh eggs. So that's, fresh eggs daily. But yeah, man, they're awesome. We have 4. There's Howard, Daisy, Nick, June. Howard's kind of pushy. Nick's real laid back. Daisy is just, I don't know. She's just a cool duck. She likes to get into mischief. I guess she's the more mischievous one. Like, come on, let's get out of here. Let's not go to sleep tonight. We're just gonna run around the run and make them tired. And then June is more like she's, I don't know, real good. She's just she'll let you touch her, and most of them won't. So.
What breed?
They're all khaki Campbells. They're shy, skittish.
So in the beginning, I thought she was a boy, and I was just like, all right, called her Drake. And then when I seen her witness her lay her first egg, and I was just like, oh crap, you're a girl. You don't have a little curl feather, obviously, but
yeah, feathers.
But yeah, but I realizing that she was a girl, it was just like, wait a minute. So you're a girl. I sold your sister? Oh my goodness.
Oh,
So I actually had 4 of them. 3 of them were girls, and I have 1 male. The Indian Walker
mhm.
was my male. 2 Muscovies, and then the black one. I don't know the name of the black one, but it was like a bummer. I was like, ah man, I gave you away. Yeah. I had a bunch of ducks, and they hadn't started laying eggs yet. They were so young that they hadn't started laying eggs, and then they finally started laying the eggs by the time I gave one away.
Oh,
Yeah, no, crazy.
yeah.
So tell me about Fleming County Market. What is that like?
Let's see. When we first went to the first meeting last year, being new, it was like kind of afraid, kind of like who's gonna be there, what are they gonna think of us, But at the first meeting, we actually saw another group of Black farmers, and it was their first year too. So that was like, oh man, yay! And the Colemans, I don't know the name of their farm, but they're amazing. This is all women. It's like the mother's figure, and like, uh, but I don't know if she is the mom, but she just seems like the mom. She's like the older one. But
Was
yeah,
it the
they're
Millers?
awesome. They sell tomatoes.
The Millers?
Colemans.
Coleman's. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, but they're awesome. They have eggs. They sold eggs and tomatoes and they cookies. But
Eggs,
yeah,
tomatoes. And then
yeah.
y'all's first year at the okay, sorry.
Okay.
Y'all's first year at Fleming County Market, right? Fleming County
Yeah.
Farmers Market.
Mm-hmm.
So your first year at Fleming County Farmers Market, you guys sold flowers and what else?
That's it. Just flowers. And then we had like a bucket of like free ones that you could take, to kind of draw people in, or if they were left over at the end, we just give them away to people that were at the market. Or there was also a nursing home up the street. We take the bucket there and just let the residents have at it. Sometimes the CNAs would just take the bucket and pass it out to the residents, or we leave them with the bouquet, something nice.
No,
But yeah,
sweet. I might grow flowers just to cut them and give them away to somebody.
yeah, it makes people's day. Just a little something.
I get it. I feel that. So a regular Italian salad garden, you got herbs, lettuce, tomatoes, and then a lot of flowers. What other things are you looking into growing this year?
Peppers. I got some hot ones this year at we have a Fleming County Extension office, and they had like a bag of just seeds that they had there, and I picked some hot lemons, some habanero, some pepperoncinis. I've never grown any of these before in my life, but they sound amazing. Some cayenne, which I can dry out and make some crushed red pepper. So I'm very excited.
And then do you plan on doing any like powdered peppers or anything like that?
I'm not sure. I don't really know how to do that. I'm guessing you just take them when they're dry and grind them, but um, not yet. Maybe eventually though. I'll dry some, get the process going.
Kentucky Double Dollars, a program of Community Farm Alliance supporting Kentucky farmers and families with over $300,000 in nutrition benefits matched in 2021. For more information or to find a location near you, visit www.kentuckydoubledollars.org.
The flower business isn't something that could sustain your life yet,
Right.
because of the size of the market,
Mm-hmm.
but the potential is definitely there if you have more ground to cover with flowers and more people coming out to buy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the farmers market was just kind of like a way to let people know that we're here and what we have to offer, and just to meet other people, different people. We actually got one lady needed filler. I guess her daughter was getting married. I think it was her daughter or her daughter-in-law. I'm not sure. She was getting married, and they needed extra flowers for the wedding. So they didn't. It wasn't like we were supplying them, but they needed extra. So she came by and picked up like 2 buckets of flowers from us, and took them to the wedding. And she invited us to the wedding, and it was very nice. We got to see our flowers, mixed in with the bouquets that they had got from the florist that they chose. And it was nice to see our products at a wedding on someone's table as their centerpiece. So that was cool.
Do you still have pictures of that?
I
You
might,
gotta
but
have
not.
pictures.
Yeah, they're probably vertical though.
So you guys did a wedding. I'm gonna count that as a part of the resume. Like, your flowers were in a wedding. You got the
Yeah.
centerpieces and things like that. That's
Mhm.
that's good on the resume.
Okay. I'll
What else?
count that.
What else? What other things are you guys looking to do with flowers?
We acquired a barn that was on the property. It wasn't ours. They were they were curing tobacco in it. It's the tobacco barn that was just on the property. And we always wanted, like, it didn't come with the property when we bought the house. So, it was always like, oh man, if that ever goes up for sale, we have to get it. And it actually went up for sale like earlier this year, I believe in like February or something. I was like, oh my God, it's for sale. So my wife cashed in her 401k and we acquired the tobacco barn. So eventually we like to do like weddings or parties, or we have, need some cleaning up a lot. There's still tobacco remnants on the floor. We finally got all the bottles and plastic bottles and glass, most of that out of there. So there's still a few tobacco sticks and stuff to clean up. But we really like to add some lighting and start doing something with it, either weddings or like just a hoedown or something. Some line dancing, I don't know, something, but it's still dirt floor. Whoever wants to come in and kick around some dirt with us, that'll be awesome.
So tell me, with that being said, let's transition into what is Loving Farm. Tell us more about what Loving Farm is, what the land is like for you, the different facilities that you have. Tell us more about it.
All
Invite
right.
people in.
Okay, so like when you drive up to it, the first thing you'll see is the big tobacco barn. When you drive in, it'll be on your left. It's huge. So we want to eventually do something with that. You come down a little further, there's a barn on the right. There's nothing really in it. We cleaned it out, but it's nothing. There's another barn where we keep our TP poles and the TP that we had up at the campground. We'd like to put that up eventually, maybe Airbnb it or something. You definitely be able to see it from the road, so it definitely draw some people in to come at least look at the place, maybe buy some flowers while they're here. We have a trailer, which hopefully will one day be an office, either Marietta's office for work or like our office for the farm here. We have the duck run where the ducks are, and then there's our platform that we haven't built yet for the TP. Is coming along. And
Work in progress.
oh, for sure, you're definitely. My brother's supposed to come help this weekend. But then yeah, there's the house and currently everything's in the house right now because I had started some flowers in the trailer, but there was a mouse or mice, I'm not sure, but they ate everything.
Wow.
So I had to start it all in the house. That's what that room is over there, is where our starts are, and then we take them outside.
Because of the issue that you had with your first set of starts, you start them now in the house. About how many plants do you start, and what are the plants that you started?
Ooh, okay. So we have zinnias. We have we started those in the house, and all the vegetables, the lettuce and the herbs and the peppers. We started eggplant also. That's something new we haven't grown. The tomatoes.
Right.
And eventually they'll be going outside. The tomatoes will probably put in bags, whatever bags we have left from last year, and the rest will be going in the ground.
My fault.
Very good.
And then lastly, are there any are there any other things that you want to present or talk to the audience about? Because some people are just listening, some people are watching. What are other things that you want to tell the audience about Loving Farm?
Just that it's a place to come and hang out if you want. We just want to make it an open space for anyone that just happens to want to come kick it with us. There's no one we don't know, no one really comes out here because it's so far away from the city. So anytime we can get some people to come out, it's amazing to just walk around and show them the creek that's right there, or just go walk and look at the trees we planted or the flowers we're starting. or hopefully there'll be more flowers that are in bloom to look at and maybe purchase. Maybe one day we'll have a, pick your own kind of thing where we just put them in the ground and they just come to us and pick what they want and pay whatever and head on home or just have a good day.
All right, so Perriee, this is the Blacker Berry series, and I've asked this question to everybody else. I got to ask you this question. If there was a berry to represent Loving Farm or yourself as a farmer, what berry would that be?
A berry that would represent, I guess, Loving Farm or us would be like the mulberry. They're real nice. I mean, they're sweet. The trees are nice. Like if you cut it down, it always grows back. We had one in our backyard, and we tried to cut it down, like just like to trim it back, and it just kept coming back, like the same branch. Just it's crazy, but they're delicious. They don't have any thorns on them. Like us, we're not thorny folk. You can come up and just talk to us. You can roll up on the property. People do it all the time, like, oh, sorry, or like, oh, I used to live here. So we're very welcoming. The mulberry is also versatile, kind of like any berry. You can make a pie, jelly. It does take a lot because they're pretty small, but they're really sweet and they're really good. Our neighbor also has some very nice mulberry bush trees. His are actually fruiting right now, and the fruits on them are like the biggest mulberries I've seen. They're kind of like maybe blackberry size. Well, not that fat, but long wise, they're nice, and they're really, really good. His tree is full, but you can't really get to them because the tree is so tall. You have to have a ladder. It's not really like a shakeable. I wouldn't shake it. I don't think I could. It's pretty big.
So you move from Chicago, you come down to Fleming County, Kentucky. You don't see a lot of people that look like you. What is it like for you and your partner in the county?
Great. When we first looked at the property, checking the census, it was the neighborhood or the area was 100% white and like no other races. So it was kind of like, are we even going to get the property? Like, is there going to be an issue? Because it took so long. We looked at it in December. We didn't get it until April. So we were really nervous, like, oh no, we didn't get it. Or, they just don't want to tell us yet. But we got it. And the people that we bought it from were super nice. They were like very excited that we got the property because there were some other people that were interested in it, but they were happy that we did. The guy that we bought it from actually lives across the tracks from us with his wife. And so we got it from him and his brother, and he lives across the tracks from us. Like we go over their house sometimes, and like they're really nice. They're all, they give us food to come back home with. It's like having parents across the tracks, like, here, take this home with you. You guys need anything? You need some food? You can just come in the refrigerator and grab you something. It's like, oh, thanks. I won't, but I appreciate it, And then Mr. Williams, the guy that cuts the hay, that offered to do it within the first week of us moving here, was nice. And then like a week after he asked us, the neighbor on the other side of us on the left, he lives on the right. So the neighbor on the left, they asked if they could cut the hay. We're like, oh, someone already beat you to it, And they're really nice. They stay right there. And they help one of the people that works at the farmer's market with the beef production, or not production. Well, I guess they help with the cattle or something.
So you would say that you guys have a really nice community out there in Fleming County?
Definitely.
And sure. All the people out there are really nice and really welcoming.
Very much so.
So no type of racist activity, no craziness, no, man, I really wish I moved back to Chicago.
Oh, not at all. None of that. It's like, this is awesome. This is so much better than having someone super close to you, It's nice. Even though they're, 500 feet away, or an acre or two, it's still nice. You can still go over to their house and they'll welcome you in. You can call them on the phone, ask for anything. They'll do whatever they can to help. So yeah, they're amazing.
And what is the closest city to you?
Maysville.
Got you.
It's about half an hour, half an hour.
Well, everybody, that was another episode. Always remember, real change comes from the ground up. Until next time, peace.